Hi, my name is April and this is Anchored by Peace. I wanted to use today's video to give my review about the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And I just finished reading it. I'm really excited to use this in my practice working with couples. And I've already started talking about it with individuals and they already know what their love language is. If you're not familiar with it, Dr. Chapman basically talks about what is your way of communicating how you love your partner. And there's 5 different love languages. The first one is words of affirmation. 2 is quality time. 3 is receiving gifts. 4 is acts of service, and 5 is physical touch. And you can actually take the quiz online, and I'll put it in the description so you can know how to find out, and it is free. I will say this video is not sponsored, but I just wanted to talk about it because I think it's an excellent book, and it's a small book. It's no more than 140 pages. So this is a quick read. What I'm noticing is everyone is knowing what their style is, what their love language is. I'll talk to a client, they'll say, oh, my love language is words of affirmation. In other words, I love hearing words of affirmation for myself. Like, I really appreciate the way you take care of us, how you make sure the bills are paid, things of that nature. Those compliments are ways of which a person can receive love. Physical touch is, and it doesn't mean sexual touch primarily, it really just means hugging, holding hands, kissing, just receiving touch is their way that they receive love. Acts of service, being able to mow the lawn or take care of the groceries, making sure the kids are taken care of, are acts of service. And you can find out more about it. But what I wanted to focus on, or really what I want you to draw attention to, or hope you can think about, is this. When it talks about the love languages, think about how we know our language, right? English, Vietnamese, Spanish, Cantonese, whatever. It's one thing to know that I'm English, but if I know my partner is speaking Farsi, it's important for me to know how to read and understand his language and speak his language or her language, whoever I'm speaking to, as far as your partner. And so if you think about it, it's one thing to know your gifts of service, but it's another thing to really hone in on what your partner's gifts of service is. So if your partner's gifts of service is act of service, it's one thing for you to know that your language as words of affirmation, but to know that your partner really responds by acts of service, such as taking care of things without them having to ask you to. And so Dr. Chapman actually gives this example in his reading, but I'm noticing some people are understanding and accepting their part as far as understanding what theirs is, but not knowing what to do with their partner. And I just want to stress that and ask that you really think about how you can implement it. And it is very intentional. I always say that in my videos, but I mean it. You have to be very intentional in how you communicate your partner's love language, and it will need to be intentional. In other words, for you, you may not think anything about it, but if you know your partner really appreciates acts of service, you may actually want to write down, my challenge this week is to do this for my partner. My challenge this week is to tell my partner I appreciate them, etc. We're getting ready for Valentine's Day, and what a good way to start the challenge in communicating with your partner. Pick one challenge, do it intentionally, do it at least 3 to 5 times a week for over the next month, and then build upon it. Be purposeful in that, and learning language, just like my daughters are taking Spanish. They have to be intentional on how they learn that language in order to be proficient. And so with couples, it's important to be proficient in your partner's love language. I just want to emphasize that. I may come back and talk more about it, but I just want to stop by and just give my review. I really recommend this book highly. Again, this is not sponsored. It's just, I think it gives a lot of hope. Also talks about forgiveness, and I think it's an excellent read. Thank you, and I wish for you to be anchored by peace. Take care. So I hope that you've benefited from my video today, as well as others. If you can, join the Anchored by Peace family by subscribing to my channel on YouTube at Anchored by Peace, or follow me on TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram at Anchored by Peace. Take care.